It's a beautiful night here in Aloha Stadium. I'm Mike Nelson with Don Bellina. We've got a great matchup for you, a preseason matchup. The Punahou Buff and Blue going up against the California San Clemente Tritons. And Don, this looks like a great matchup in football.
These two teams are pretty familiar with each other. They played each other about 3 years ago in the Shanakina Classic. And they're quite friendly off the field also, as you mentioned earlier by talking to the coaches from San Clemente. Punahou served as their host as they stayed here in Hawaii. And the thing about it is it's going to be real interesting. For the Punahou Buff and Blues, this is going to be one of those preseason games where, you know, usually you're trying to get ready for the regular season and so forth. And because they do have some key players on the men, this is going to be one of those games where they're going to try to see what they can do about adding depth by seeing a lot of their reserve players playing. On the other side of the ball, it looks like it's going to be real interesting also for the Tritons of San Clemente, because they're done practicing against each other, and this is going to be actually their first test against a real opponent.
Well, they watched Punahou last week when Punahou walloped Maui, 42-0, and San Clemente had their own camera people down there and everything. They're scouting it, and as you mentioned, they know each other very well, and they kind of got to know Punahou here in the last week, so they know a bit about them. But still looks like a very good game coming up. There you see our head ref, Hardy Spohr. They just made the coin flip. And it looks like the Tritons will receive. That's them in the white uniforms. And the Punahou Buff and Blue will kick off.
It's going to be a real interesting evening, and as you mentioned earlier, they're real friendly off the field, and as we kind of noted, as we were observing up here in the booth, we were kind of watching Coach Dan Morrison of the Buff and Blues, and of course Coach Mark McLeroy for the Tritons. They were real chummy before the game, real lighthearted, and of course all the nice stuff is over. They put on the battle gear, and they're going to try to see where their teams are at this point of the season.
There you see Coach McElroy, and I didn't get a chance to really talk to him. I talked to the assistant coach, Bob Burgess, real nice guy. And he was telling me about they really enjoy coming here to Aloha Stadium, coming over to Hawaii. They love it very much, and the kids are very thrilled to be here in Aloha Stadium, the same field where the Pro Bowl is played. He said their eyes just lit up. Now we're getting ready for the kickoff. And kicking off for Punahou, David Hu. He's all set to go, and here we go. Here's the kickoff. Ball's caught and run back. Down to about the 30, 31, 32-yard line. Let's see who had that ball. That's number 30 for the Tritons. Chris Rossetti, 5'11", 160-pound junior. And around the, looks like about the 30-yard line, the Tritons will take over. And we were talking to the coaches. Don, they were talking about this this offense of San Clemente.
Yeah, they described it as the fly offense, and it's one of those multiple faceted offenses where we're going to see a lot of misdirections plays tonight.
And it's a handoff by the quarterback, Richie Westman. Heading off there to number 6. Which I don't have down in the lineup. Do you have a number 6 there?
No, there's no number 6 listed, but on that one we had number 24, James Alenti, on the motion, as we see here on the same play, only going the opposite direction.
This is what they like to do. They like to keep the defense guessing all the time. That's Alenti with the ball there. That's number 24, getting a few yards down to close to the 33, 34-yard line. And it's 3rd down, 7 to go. Westman, misdirection, hands off again, and there's play stopped.
This is one of the things that the preseason is there for. We're here to kind of work out the bugs, and the thing about it is, like I mentioned earlier, the Tritons, this is their first game against any real opponent, and they're a little bit antsy, and we saw some motion over there, and yes, that's a correct call by our head referee, a legal motion by, of course, the San Clemente Tritons.
Okay, that adds 5 yards to the deficit. It's now 3rd down and 12 to go. Ball on the 29-yard line of the Tritons. And, well, we got another flag down. Looks like it's going to be against the Tritons.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
Kind of seems like the offensive line there has the early season jitters as they've moved illegally for the 2nd time in a row. And we'll see if they can get this play off.
It's now 3rd and 17. Ball on the 24. Westman back. Fires down the field and almost caught. Intended there for number 85. Chris McCormick, a 5', 11-inch senior. And looks like the Tritons will have to kick the ball off.
One thing that did impress the coaches from San Clemente was the speed and the quickness of the Punahou defense.
Well, we have more whistles.
On this side?
Timeout. Timeout. San Clemente. Well, this will give us more opportunity to talk a little more about this game. It looks like San Clemente's got the jitters right off the bat.
As we see Coach McLeroy over there on the opposite side, there was someone that missed their assignment. They were missing one person in that punt return group. I believe it's number 64. He's got an earful, and we don't have a listing for a number 64 on our roster over here. So unfortunately, we can't mention who was the gentleman that was at fault there for the stoppage of play.
Well, there's the kicker for the Tritons. Adam Little, 205-pound senior. Looks like Jeremy Grad receiving for Punahou. Punts up and Grad's got the ball. Right around left sideline, and he's driven out of bounds by number 51, Mike Jovanovic. And Punahou will take over. Well, wait a minute, we have another flag down. Looks like it may go against Punahou.
Just when the Tritons were having problems with personnel on the field, the Buff and Blue returned the favor by having some problems with their personnel on the field also. Okay, on that return of the punt, number 80, Jeremy Grant, one of our statisticians on board over here, Al Murakami, was told that they were pretty impressed with the speed of this receiver.
Illegal participation on the receiving team. 15 yards from the previous spot. It'll still be 4th down.
As we take a look at some of the coaching staff here at Punahou, they're really uptight about the situation. They're trying to work out the bugs, but of course this is typical preseason.
Okay, well, we'll try it again. This time we have a different receiver back there for Punahou. Same kicker for the Tritons. Again, Adam Little. And now more whistles.
Kind of seems like both teams never really worked on their punting or their punt return teams. And it's cause for a timeout. And as we see some of the officials over there, they're probably trying to decipher out what's the confusion on just trying to punt the ball. As we see here, one of the coaches for San Clemente working on his special teams. One of the bigger problems with special teams is because you have a whole mixture of offense and defensive players into the mix. Sometimes you kind of get the miscommunication, don't know when you're supposed to be on the field, and especially during preseason, and like I said, being their first game causes a lot of confusion.
Well, let's hope they got the confusion straightened up. Here we go again. This is the 3rd attempt. Same kicker, different receiver. That will be Blair Suzuki now back there for the Buff and Blue. And he lets the punt roll out of bounds at about the 26-yard line, and that's where the Buff and Blue will take over for their first drive.
This is where we're going to get to see, of course, for the first time the players for Punahou on offense. On the quarterback, it kind of looks like it's going to be Anthony Prinzavali taking the snaps, and during the regular season, it will probably be Bryce Gomes because he is the senior and he has some game experience, but at the same time, they're pretty high on Prinzavella also.
Yeah, and on the scouting report, San Clemente was very impressed with Prinzavali. Gomes, it said he will be back at the start of the ILEDGE season. So Prinzavali's got the starting nod, and he hands off. That's the number 28. Dallas Nakashima, again, another backup who's also impressive to the San Clemente coaches. He gets a few yards.
And here we are taking it on the replay over here. We're going to see Nakashima taking the ball from Prinzavelli, and he's trying to look for some daylight over there, and he gets dragged down by number 11, Casey Shaw. Nakashima
ran for 2 touchdowns last week in a big win over Maui, so he knows what to do with the ball. 2nd and 5. Pass intended for Dallas Nakashima. It's incomplete.
That's one of the first times we get to see a little bit of the inexperience of Prinzavali on that play, because he was really indecisive during that play. He dropped back, kind of jerked the ball around, and really didn't get that ball off.
So it brings up 3rd and 5. Ball on the 32-yard line in Punahou territory. Prinzavali keeps it, and he's brought down very hard by number 44 for the Tritons, Adam Little, 6 foot, 205 pound senior. That's going to bring up a kicking situation for the Buff and Blue.
We're going to take a look at it here on the Hawaii Army National Guard replay. Prinzavali basically doesn't have any time. There's a swim technique that was performed by Adam Little, and we've called that name quite a few times already because, as we noticed earlier, he is also the punter for the Tritons.
There's the punt, and it's received by Chris McCormick, and he's bringing the ball up. He hits a hole up the middle past the 50-yard line to about the 43 into Buff and Blue territory.
On the stop there, we have number 22 dragging down McCormick. That is Brian Piles for the Buff and Blue, as we're going to take a look at here on replay. The punt was a real nice punt as far as distance went, but it was a line drive. Thus, the coverage couldn't really get under it to get downfield. And by the time they do get downfield, McCormick already has a head of steam here. He gets to see the field, and there we go over there. Brian Piles, number 22, dragging down McCormick from behind.
There's the snap and a handoff. Let's see now, that is to number 24, and that again is James Alenti. They seem to go to him a lot. And it looks like that quarterback is different. It looks like that's Ken Covillo in there, a different quarterback. Got 4 yards on that play. It's 2nd and 6 to go on the 39-yard line. Covillo, hands off.
We're taking a look at just how this fly offense works. There's a lot of motion, there's a lot of multiple sets, and a lot of misdirections.
That was Chris McCormick carrying the ball. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Right now, what the San Clemente Tritons are doing by speeding up things, by almost going to a no-huddle type of deal, they're keeping the Buff and Blue defense off base right now, and as we can see, they're moving the ball because of this this surprise attack.
I made it 1st and 10. Now we got a flag down.
Got a dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
Okay, so it's dead ball foul. 5-yard penalties. Now 1st and 15 on the 36. Ken Covillo, the quarterback. And he hands the ball off once again to James Alenti. And he gets down to close to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at here on replay made by Sprint. There we go. We see all this motion, misdirection stuff, and then number 24 basically comes out of that pile, gets dragged down by number 88, Kenneth Miller, for the Buff and Blue. This fly offense has, like I said, a lot of multiple sets, a lot of motions, a lot of misdirection, and combine that with a lot of the quickness of the play developing. It's
2nd and 8, and there's a pass, and it's caught by Chris McCormick, and it's good. Down around the 10-yard line. That was quite a play.
Real good play. In high school and in college, all you need is 1 foot in, but he did a good job about keeping both feet in at that time. We're going to take a look at it on replay over here, made by Pepsi. Everybody on the Buff and Blue side of the ball is so worried about that offense, that misdirection, all of these fake plays and so forth. All of a sudden they forget about the pass, and McCormick was wide open. He was all by himself. If somehow Coviello could have maybe kept that ball in play, made his receiver go under it, it could have easily gone for a touchdown.
Well, the ball's on a 10-yard line. 10 to go for the touchdown. Covillo, hands off. Once again to McCormick. He gets a few yards down, about 3-yard line, and flag's down. Looks like it's a holding call against the Tritons, so that play is going to come back.
We're talking it over there with number 44, Nicholas Torres, as to what they're going to do. I suppose they're going to be actually taking the 10 yards and moving the Tritons on back.
We have holding on the offense. 10 yards from the end of the run. Still 1st down.
This San Clemente offense, as we look at over here on replay, it really wreaks havoc on us over here on the booth, because with all of these misdirections and these different sets that they have, it really causes a lot of confusion. We really don't know which way the ball is going, and like I said, it causes a lot of confusion because with the Buff and Blues, of course, they're more apt to the regular type of or standard type of offenses, if you will, the run and shoots and so forth, and this is a little bit different.
Yeah, it is different. It's kind of fun to watch, though. 1st and 16 to go. Covillo, hands off. Once again to Alenti. He picks up some of the yards they lost.
On the stop over there, number 89 for the Buff and Blues, Anthony Murata. And Alenti, he's going to be their go-to guy this year. He's got a lot of experience. He's only a junior, but he carried the ball a lot as a sophomore.
That looked like a different quarterback. I don't know, but once again, McCormick's carrying the ball, and he gets a few more yards.
It's
Boy,
real
it's
difficult to. Yeah, it's really difficult to kind of follow what's going on over here. We saw that McCormick was in motion, and in full stride, he took the handoff from Coviello. As we take a look at it here on replay, we're going to just see. There we go, back and forth. There. Right in stride, McCormick gets the handoff as he goes in motion, as he goes around the right-hand side of the line, finally brought there brought down there by number 54, Tanner Cam of the Buffin Blues.
3rd and 7. Covilla passes the ball, and it's just out of the reach of Johnny Morgan, a 6'2", 170-pound senior. And that will bring up a 4th down.
Like I said, if you don't watch out, you get so caught up in running these stunts and so forth to try and stop the runs and the misdirections, you tend to forget about the pass.
Well, field goal attempt. Josh McCarthy out there. No, he's the holder. I'm sorry. Kicker looks like it's number 1, Tim Holtz. He kicks it up. He gets it through there. It's 3-0. Tritons, 5:09 in the first period.
The kicker over there also has some nice size. He's listed here as 6'3", 170 pounds. Real rangy type of kicker, but he displayed a nice leg. So we take a look here at the first quarter stats over here. We have the Tritons up 3-0. As we take a look here on replay, Holtz, he really stands above that line at 6'3". Gets a good leg underneath and punches it through for the field goal.
That's a good high kick.
The one thing I noticed about this San Clemente team as I was looking at this roster, they're not all that big, but as you can see by the type of offense that they run, it's a real quick hitting offense where you don't really need that size, but you do have the speed, and we can see that they do have a lot of team quickness.
Boy, you can say that, and it's really confusing the way to hand that ball off, you know, just who's got the ball, which way is it going to go, you know, it's really interesting.
And like you said, it's a real fun offense to watch. It's one of those real scatterbug type of deals, and the thing about it is it works.
That's probably why they have it in there. We were talking to the assistant coach. He says they don't throw as much as they'd like to. They use what they have. Well, that's what they're doing. Tim Holtz kicks off. And it's caught by number 34 for the Buffin Blue. It's Tyler Owl. He's driven out of bounds. Oh, about the 16, 17-yard line. That's where the Buffin Blue will take over.
Number 44 is a real busy man this evening, Adam Little. He does their punting, he does their hitting, he does their tackling. Maybe you can get us some popcorn and some sodas up here.
That would be nice, yeah.
As we take a look over here on the monitor, we're taking a look at Coach Morrison for the Buffin Blues, trying to see what he can do about moving this ball on this San Clemente Triton team.
Anthony Principale. There's the handoff. Dallas Nakashima again, getting a few yards to about the 20, 21-yard line.
Now the main person on that hit over there, as we take a look at it on the GTE Hawaiian Tel replay, Nakashima's going to get the ball for the Buffin Blues. In the mix, you're going to have number 44 there, coming right into your picture, Adam Little. He's in the mix all night.
Well, he got 3 yards on the carry. It's 2nd and 7. Ball on the 20. And movement. And I think number 65 for the Buffin Blue, Daniel Lee, looked like he made a little move there.
We saw there on the monitor, he's not too happy. You know the call is on him.
Start on the offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
So the Buffin Blue will be pushed back another 5 yards.
Take a look at it on replay. You're just going to see that flash movement over there, and that was a call.
So it'll be 2nd and 12. Vincent Valley looks like he's a little confused now. Another flag down.
This has been a real slow-moving first quarter, and a lot of dirty laundry has already been thrown onto the field.
Well, the Punahou players are clapping.
Dead ball, encroachment by the defense, 5 yards, still 2nd up.
Well, we'll take that 5 yards and go back the other direction again. So on the 20-yard line, 2nd and 7. That's where we were a couple of plays ago. Prince of Valley taking his time. And he looks like he's going to pass. Now he keeps him running with it. Gets around the corner, then he's brought down pretty hard at about the 25-26 yard line by the Tritons.
I'm really impressed by the team speed that's displayed by the San Clemente team. It was an obvious passing play. There was no running back in the backfield at that time. All receivers were covered at first. It was a little bit confusing out there. The San Clemente players were kind of jumping around to make sure that all the receivers were covered. As we're going to take a look at here on the replay. Prince of Valley has nowhere to go, and he's being chased down by number 62 for the Tritons, Mike Calvitti. And the rest of his team, there we go, number 44, Adam Little again on that play.
3rd and 1, handoff. Looks like it's going to be a first down. I think the handoff, the ball went to, I think, 29. Was that Nakashima got the ball?
Yeah, Nakashima got the ball again, and we see here on the monitor number 10 for the Tritons, Daniel Montesinos, and he's going to be one of the captains on this defensive squad over here. He's the middle linebacker, calling all the signals for the defensive sets.
Yeah, he's one of their leaders from the past years, one of their stars, so you're going to see a lot of him in the game. They got a first down. Ball's on a 28. Prince Valley passes again, very quick. Caught by Timothy Owl.
Punahou doing anything that they can right now to get something started. They picked up some nice yardage on that quick out pass. As we take a look at here on the preseason replay over here, Prince of Valley just steps back about 2-3 steps, pitches it out to Owl, and on the stop over there for San Clemente, you have number 22, Richard Worrell.
All right, that brings down 2nd and 3. Got 7 on the pass. Handoff once again to Nakashima, getting a few yards. Is it enough for a first down?
On the stop over there, guess who? Number 44, Adam Little. Seems like we're going to be calling his name all night tonight. As we take a look at here on the replay, it was a quick draw. There was a little mishandle over there in the backfield, and Nakashima gets dropped. There was a hole over there, but it got filled up real quick by number 44, Adam Little.
Well, they didn't get the first down. Now it's 3rd and 1. Hand off to, guess who? Nakashima. He's hit and battered around. I'm not sure he got a first down. But what they're marking, it looks like they did. There you see the young man.
Yeah, on the stop over there, you have number 21, Jason Kim. For the Tritons, we're going to take a look at here on replay. We see Nakashima. He's going to get the handoff over here. He sees a hole, then it gets clogged up real quick. He tries to bounce to the outside, and he almost loses that first down by moving laterally and back.
Ball on a 40. New set of downs for the Buff and Blue. Prince of Valley throws another pass across. It's short, intended for Jeremy Grad, incomplete. Bringing up a 2nd down.
And right now, Punahou, like I said, trying to do anything to kind of keep the defense off the field. We have 1 minute and 16 seconds left, and as we take a look here on the monitor, it looks like, oh my goodness, our friend Adam Little, is he actually getting tired in this game?
He looks like he's being replaced by Herbert Hingler. Hingler, well, I'll get that straight. Hingler. Second and 10. Clock's running down, 1:07. In the first quarter, Prince of Valley hands off to Kaleo McCabe, and he gets a few yards.
Initial hit was done by Daniel Montesinos, and as he slows everybody down, he gets cleaned up by number 66, Herbert Hegeler. As we take a look at here on replay, we see that McCabe gets the handoff, gets hit over there by Montesinos, and then slows him up enough where the rest of his teammates can recover and pile up that play.
Well, they lost yardage. It's now 3rd and 11. Prince Valley over the middle, and it's caught by Bradley Itagaki, wide receiver, 160-pound senior, 5 foot 8 inches, and a flag's down. Looks like this may be going against the buff and blue.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's declined. 4th down.
Well, okay, it was man in motion. The Triton says we don't want the penalty. We want the ball back. They're going to make the buff and blue kick the ball. Ball's on the 39-yard line of Punahou. 16 seconds left in the period. Nice looping punt. That's caught by the Tritons again. That's Chris McCormick bringing the ball up a few more yards as time runs out here in the first period. He gets up to about the 30-yard line. There's a flag down. Didn't quite catch that, Don. What did he say on that?
It kind of looks like an illegal participation or something like that. We'll get the call one more time.
Well, they're talking it over. We'll get the official script in a minute.
Well, as we kind of look at it down there, we kind of see that the referees are also in preseason form.
Harvey Spoor is a veteran of the ILH, been refereeing for years and years. He's talking it over with the Punahou players.
And here we go. We're finally going to get the call.
Got a substitution infraction on the defense. Failure to get off the field. 5 yards from the previous spot. It'll still be 4th down.
Okay, after all that, we've got a player substitution infraction. And we're looking at the San Clemente bench. They're a little puzzled. See Coach Morrison over there. He's a little bit puzzled. All in all, what's going to just happen is they're going to line it up again for another punt.
It appears so. We will do it one more time this quarter. The man punting the ball for the Buff and Blue is Sean Holliday. And once again to receive, Chris McCormick for the Tritons. We still have confusion. Okay, here we go.
Okay, the confusion is
Time
with the
ran out
clock
on
right
the play.
now.
We'll have one untimed down before the end of the quarter.
There's the kick. Nice high kick. Fair catch by McCormick, and now another flag. Caught on about the 10-yard line.
If anything, these referees are having a lot more work than the players are.
Yeah, seems like it.
Kind of looks like they were going to do a little dance routine out there.
Well, once again, the first period cannot end, it seems like.
Invalid fair catch signal by the receiving team. Be a 5-yard foul administered from the previous spot. to give the offense a first down.
Okay, so the Buff and Blues get a break over here. What's happened is they had a fair catch infraction, and after they mark off the penalty, it looks like that Punahou is going to get the ball back, first down.
Well, that was interesting. There you see our score, 3-0. San Clemente in the lead. This is what, the last play of the first quarter?
Last plays of the first quarter.
Right. Yeah, there's been a lot of them. There's a handoff to Nakashima, getting a few yards down to about the 40-yard line of the Tritons. I believe that's the first time they've been in Triton territory. Now we're in the first quarter.
Finally, we end the first quarter, and the stop over there again by number 44, Adam Little.
No, we have another flag down.
Okay.
This is the longest ending of a quarter I've ever seen.
Okay, we have an unsportsmanlike conduct on the San Clemente team. Okay.
Well, it looks like he's marching it against Punahou. Okay, now we're going to go to a new quarter, it looks like. They finally ended it, the quarter that wouldn't die. There you see Coach McElroy, and he's trying to say, what's going on here?
No, they're not marking it against Punahou. What they're doing is they're taking it to the other side of the field, and they're probably going to be marking this thing off.
Right. And we're going to start a new quarter.
Finally.
Right.
We have a dead ball foul on the defense, unsportsmanlike conduct on the coaches, 15 yards, first down.
This officiating crew is getting a lot more airtime than we are.
Well, suffice it to say, we're on the 35-yard line of San Clemente. It's now to start a second period, 3-0 Tritons. And I hope the second quarter is not like the first in that respect. Anyway, there's our quarterback for the Buff and Blue, Anthony Principali. And a handoff to Nakashima. He gets down to about the 18-yard line. Good gain for the Buff and Blue.
On the stop over there, you have number 10, Daniel Montesinos. And I'm real impressed with the team speed of this Triton team. As we look at over here, we saw how big that hole was, and it got collapsed real quick. Again, making the initial stop, though, before Montesinos cleans up over there was number 44, Adam Little.
Who was that? Oh, Adam Little. Yeah.
My thoughts precisely.
He's all over the field. So is Montesinos, for that matter. Well, he got 7 yards on the run, Nakashima did, and it'll be second and 3 to go for the Punahou Buff and Blue, trying to score here. And there's a misdirection play for the Buff and Blue. Down to Nakashima. Looks like he's got first down. Oh, no. Guess what?
Surprise, 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 surprise. We have a yellow flag on the field.
That was good, Gomer.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the fall, still second down.
We're going to take a look at here on the replay. We're probably going to get to see the infraction over here. It's real in slow motion right now. Nakashima gets the ball. We're still trying to look for the infraction over here. And as the play goes on, he's finally dragged down by number 42, Marlon Bobbins. We're actually calling someone else's number on the defensive side of the ball.
I believe it's a holding call is what it was. And that marches them backwards. 2nd and 12, ball on a 27. Prince of Valley pitches out. That's number 34, Tyler All, and he doesn't get anything. And there you see the man who made the tackle.
They have quite a few two-way players on this San Clemente team. It's not, you know, we're not going in reverse over here. Yes, on the stop over there was McCormick. He also plays wide receiver, returns punts and kicks for them. We're going to notice over here a pitch back. It kind of looks like it's going to be an option, but it's so deep in the backfield, and it was so slow developing. Actually, the person that stopped that play was number 80 for the Buff and Blues, Jeremy Grant.
Well, they lost 5 yards on it. Now 3rd and 17 on the 32, and more whistles.
Dead ball. Delay of the game on the offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
Okay, this possession started off with Punahou wanting to punt. On a series of penalties, they get a 1st down. As we can see, Morrison over here, he's going crazy because as they get this gift, they're not able to capitalize because now they're killing themselves with penalties themselves.
Another 5-yard penalty. Delay a game. 3rd and 22 from the 37. Prince of Valley fires down the field. Hey, oh, almost caught. Pass intended for Blair Suzuki, but not to be.
The intended receiver again, number 5, Blair Suzuki. On the coverage over there for the Tritons of San Clemente, number 34, Mike Hogg. As we take a look at here on replay, Prince of Valley just steps back, heaves the ball as much as he could. It was really looking like a lame duck, but it was perfect also in a way that, you know, it gave the receiver time to get under the ball.
That brings up a 4th down. There's the punt. They're punting away from McCormick. The ball goes into the... No, it does not go in the end zone. Looks like they're going to mark it off about this 2nd or 2 or 3 yard line.
No, yes, they did mark it.
Did it go in the end zone?
Yes,
Okay,
they marked it a
sorry about
touchback.
that.
No problem.
Okay.
The announcers over here on board are also in preseason form.
Yes, we are. This is my 2nd game. How about you?
I don't know. Kind of feels like the first.
Okay, so it'll be a 20-yard line. Ball's brought out. Tritons take over. They lead in the game 3-0. There's 9:47 left here in the 2nd period.
Lots of action, though, has been happening.
Oh, yeah. And another whistle. Covillo looks like he can't believe it.
Dead ball. Encroachment by the offense. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
Okay, it looks like there's somebody lined off on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay, we'll try it again. Now it's 1st and 15 on the 15. Man in motion, and that man gets the ball. It's McCormick again. He doesn't get much.
On the stop over there, you have both number 88, Kenneth Miller, and also number 30, Lucas Morgan, for the Buff and Blue. I think about this time, both coaches would maybe want to take a timeout and maybe have these their players warm up again, break a sweat, because there's been a lot of stoppage of play over here with all these flags coming up.
Covillo hands off again. McCormick's got the ball coming around this side. Gets some yardage down to around the 30-yard line. He's brought down. Not enough for a 1st down.
Okay, as we take a look at here on replay, this is real amazing. I'm real amazed by this play, this fly thing, where the runner goes in motion at full speed, and while he's at full speed, he's already got all that steam built up, and breaks it out for nice yardage. In fact, he gets pretty close to a first down, and he's brought down there by number 54, Tanner Cam.
Well, now it's 3rd and 2 to go. Seville hands off. This time, someone different has the ball, and that's Daniel Montesinos. We saw him on defense. There he is on offense, getting a few yards. And looks like he may have the first down. He does.
Okay, there's no mistaking, folks. You're not seeing things. You're going to be seeing a lot of two-way players for the San Clemente Tritons. We actually have, like you said over there, Montesinos getting it on a reverse. It was actually handed off to McCormick first and caused a lot of confusion, enough to have them go for the first down. And the stop was made by Anthony Murata of the Punahou Buffin Blues.
Ball's on the 32 of Punahou. I'm sorry, of San Clemente. There's another handoff, this time to, again, McCormick. He goes around the left side, and looks like he has another first down. I'm looking for flags. No, okay.
He's brought down over there by number 20 on the sideline over there, Sean Holiday, who's also their punter. Again, the one thing that amazes me is how they can hand this thing off while the motion man is in full stride. We're going to take a look at here on replay, and McCormick takes the handoff right when he's going into motion, and it looks like it gets stringed out real nice, but then he finds a burst of daylight over there, and he's finally brought down by Holiday.
Well, another handoff. I believe this time the ball was carried by James Alenti. He didn't get much on this play. Bring up a second down. He got 1 yard. Ball's on the 48. Villa, this time he hands off to the man in motion. A different runner. That's Jason Kim, a 5'8", 165-pound senior, getting a few yards, not enough for a first down.
Well, to run this San Clemente offense, you really have to be in shape. There's a lot of east to west motion. There's not too many things going north to south. We take a look over here. Jason Kim, number 21, takes the handoff again while he's in stride going in motion, and he's going side to side, and the Buffin Bowl defense do a good job of stringing this out, and there's a nice stop over there by number 54 for the Buffin Blues, Tanner Cam.
Well, the Tritons want a timeout. 7:29 in the second quarter. 3-0 San Clemente in the lead. There you see it. And what do you think they're talking about? Any idea?
Well, right now we're just taking a look over here at the Punahou side of the sidelines. They have a lot of school spirit. Saw some of the Paint Boys out there. And we're taking a look at the defense over here. They're probably trying to make some adjustments, trying to do what they can about stuffing that option type of fly offense, as was described by the coaching staff of the Tritons. On the Triton side of the ball, they're trying to keep it up. And you see a lot of school spirit, personal pride out there.
This is high school football. Got to have that.
Wrong station.
3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 on a 48 for the Tritons. Man in motion, and he gets the ball, and he hands it back. First man to touch that ball was James Aleni. Then he gave it to Chris McCormick, getting a few yards, and he got a first down.
That was a real fortunate play for the Tritons, because they did that reverse on the fly. McCormick, after he gets it on the reverse, actually gets knocked into his own man, number 6, which we don't have a listing for.
So ball's on 42. Now the ball goes again to Alente, getting a few more yards. Ooh, maybe 4 or 5.
Okay, on the stop over there for the Buffin Blues, you have number 50, Noah Gibson. And that was the first time, I believe, that we saw them line up with the running backs back there. And instead of giving it to the man in motion, they actually give it to the running back in the backfield. And it was Alenti. And over there again, as I mentioned, number 50, Noah Gibson for the Buffin Blues on the stop.
You mean a regular football play? Oh, okay. And in motion, again, Alente. He pounds some some defenders, gets up, gets a first down. They're relentless, you know it?
Well, like you mentioned earlier, when we saw this description of the fly, what was it? Even the coaching staff couldn't really explain it too well for us. Multiple sets, multiple motion, misdirection. That's all we got. We have an injured player on the field, and just to go back on that play real quick, on the stop for the Buff and Blues, we have number 55, Michael Peacock, listed here as a linebacker, 5'10", 190-pound senior, and they're looking to him to be one of the defensive stoppers during the ILH season. Okay, number 50 over there for the Buff and Blues, we have Noah Gibson. Kind of looks like he caught a little cramp there. Kind of can understand it. They have a hard time staying warm down there with all these stoppages of play, with all the flags and so forth during the course of the night.
And so we get back to the action. Mark McElroy, the coach for the San Clemente Tritons. And they have the ball on the 30-yard line, and they're leading in this ball game 3-0. There's 6:25 left in the half. Covillo keeps it this time and throws down the field, and looks like it's caught. It is caught. Again, that's Chris McCormick. Good enough for a first down deep in Punahou territory.
Catches the Buff and Blues by surprise. Again, you're so conscious about stopping their option game. Finally, they drop back. He actually has a nice fake to the backfield. We're going to take a look at it here on replay. He covers up the ball real nice. He rolls out to his strong side, sets up real nice, finds his receiver downfield for a nice gain. I'm real impressed by this kid, Corviello. He's only listed here as a sophomore.
And there's a handoff. That's the number 2, Chris Smith, 5'6", 150-pound sophomore, and he drives in for a touchdown from the 11-yard line for the Tritons.
It's going to be very interesting what's going to happen during the halftime, how Dan Morrison and his crew is going to try and defense this and adjust to all the different motions and so forth.
He's going to have to make a lot of adjustments, I would say, at this point in time. Kicking again for the Tritons, Tim Holtz. Left footer, and he blocked. Let's see if we can find out who blocked the point.
On the block over there for the Buff and Blue, you have number 33, Keola Ane.
Keola Ane blocked the kick with his hand.
Actually, it wasn't just his hand. He penetrated in there.
Yeah, he got his big hand up there and knocked it down. And that kept the Tritons from getting a 10th point. So they lead the game 9-0 with 5:55 left here in the second period.
We have a good shot over there of that young gentleman over there, number 2, Chris Smith. Over there, he's doing the up and away over there. That new symbol. We're done with the woof with Arsenio Hall. And we're going to take a look at how he takes that handoff and he busts all the way through, and good job of keeping the arms wrapped around that ball as he went in for that touchdown.
There's the score, 9-0. San Clemente. Do you know where San Clemente is located?
Orange County.
Very good. You know where that's at?
California.
You know where that's at?
On that big island called North America.
Orange County, for those of you who don't know, is actually between LA and San Diego. It's a town about 40,000. You all know the former presidents from there. There's the kickoff by Tim Holtz. Ball's received by 34 for the Buff and Blue. Tyler Owl. He tries to bring it up, and he's brought down at about the 22-yard line. There's the man that brought him down right there, number 41 for the Tritons, Brian Hadley.
We're going to take a look at it on replay. Tyler Au takes this kickoff, He goes to his right, and he goes a long way to his right, looking for his wedge. Finally makes a stop, tries to cut inside. Number 41 will have none of it. Number 41 again is Brian Hadley. Now, if anything, on this possession for the Buff and Blues, they have to get something done. If anything, to keep their defense off the field. They've been on that field quite a long time trying to stop that option attack of the Tritons.
So the Buffalo gets the ball on the 23-yard line and carrying the ball for them. And again, that's Dallas Nakashima. He doesn't get very much.
I'm really impressed with the overall team speed of this San Clemente team. We take a look at here on replay. Nakashima takes this pitch. He tries to go off and sweep to his left-hand side. He actually gets flushed out by number 44, Adam Little, and he's finally cleaned out by number 22, Richard Worrell.
And he lost 3 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 13. Ball on the 20. Hand off to Nakashima again, trying to drive through the line. Not much. Gets up to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now it's going to be very important for the Punahou Buff and Blues to do something about trying to convert this 3rd down play, because what they really don't want to do is go 1, 2, 3 and out.
Because there's still time on a clock here. With San Clemente could do something, so they need to get something going here. 3rd and 9. Pincevale fires down the middle. It's caught. It's caught by Nakashima. That's enough for a 1st down.
Nice gutsy play over there by Nakashima, catching it down the middle. Good hit also by number 10, Daniel Montesinos. You take a look at here down the replay. Pincevale drops back about 5 steps, heaves that ball back, and Nakashima catches that ball, and Montesinos is there for the stop.
Ball's on a 36. 4:06 to go in a half. Nakashima again. Nakashima hits a hole and gets a few yards to about the 42-yard line.
Nice run by Nakashima. We're going to take a look at this on replay. This is basically all Nakashima right here. He tries to follow his block. He number 10, Montesinos, plugs that hole over there. Number 19 wraps up the legs. That is Paul Sepulveda, and he's finally cleaned out by number 34, Mike Hogg.
A 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3rd. Pincevale back. There's a pass, and it's almost caught. Pass intended for Jeremy Grad again, and he doesn't make the catch.
Quite an unfortunate play. The ball was thrown a little bit behind, but still that ball was catchable. Take a look at here on replay. Pincevale is trying to do anything that he can to catch his rhythm. He drops back, has a nice lane over to throw, and Jeremy Grad, I guess for a split second, took his eye off that ball.
3rd down and 3. Pincevale back. Again throws. Caught by Nakashima, but he stopped short of 1st down territory, and the Buffalo Blue are going to have to kick the ball. There's the man that brought him down. Number 21 for the Tritons, Jason Kim. There's the punt by the Buff and Blue, a low liner. And it's just let go by Chris McCormick. He just lets it roll down the Buff and Blue all over it, down about the 4-yard line. That's where they will take over, where the Tritons will take over.
It's actually really a moot point, because what we're going to have looks like going to be at least a running into the kicker infraction, and it's going to be Buff and Blue ball again.
Didn't see the flag once again. We hadn't hit it in a while, and all of a sudden it hits us again.
As we see Coach McLeroy a little bit upset, but at the same time, if number 41, who is going to get caught for this,
Got a personal foul roughing the kicker by the defense, 15 yards, first down.
I was surprised. They actually gave him the 15-yard roughing. It kind of looked like a running into, and we're going to take a look at it over here. Holiday gets the kickoff, and Brian Hadley basically got there a little bit late. I don't know.
A low liner, and it's just let go by Chris McCormick. He just lets it roll down, the Buffalo Blue all over it, down about the 4-yard line. That's where they will take over, or where the Tritons will take over.
It's actually really a moot point, because what we're going to have looks like going to be at least a running into the kicker infraction, and it's going to be Buff and Blue ball again.
Didn't see the flag once again. We hadn't hit it in a while, and all of a sudden it hits us again.
As we see Coach McLeroy a little bit upset. But at the same time, if number 41, who is going to get caught for this.
Got a personal foul, roughing the kicker by the defense, 15 yards, first down.
I was surprised. They actually gave him the 15-yard roughing. It kind of looked like a running into, and we're going to take a look at it over here. Holiday gets the kickoff, and Brian Hadley basically got there a little bit late. I don't know if it was really roughing, but it's a moot point right now. It's 15 yards
good
extra.
Good acting, I would say. All right, so the Buffalo Blue do retain the ball. It's first down on a 40-yard line, and Nakashima once again gets the ball, gets a few yards, but nothing more.
Okay, on that play, you have number 19, Paul Sepulveda, who grabs the legs of Nakashima as he comes right through that line, and Nakashima gets a pretty decent gain over there of about 3 yards.
Clock's winding down, 2 minutes to go. Buffalo Blue trying to get something going, trying to get on the scoreboard here. They're trailing 9-0. 2nd and 8. Prince Valley keeps it. Play action, throws down the field, and almost caught, but it's broken up by the Tritons. Nothing doing on that play. There's the man who broke it up. Again, that's Jason Kim.
Nice coverage over there by Jason Kim. They were in a zone defense. Receiver was in between the two defenders, and Kim came right up to break up the play. As we see Prince Valley back here, he heaves that ball downfield, and as we see over there, Kim almost had that ball himself.
So it's 3rd down and 8. Prince Valley keeping the ball 9 throws. And that's caught by Ryan Komagomi.
But guess what, folks?
Don't tell me. Yes.
Right at the 40-yard line.
A dreaded flag.
Got a personal foul by the defense, face mask, 15 yards from the end of the run.
Well, that's interesting. On the defensive side, you have a personal foul face mask.
Well, that's what Coach McElroy is saying. What is this? What are you doing that for?
Can read lips. He's asking where and who.
Again, personal foul, face mask on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot.
Punahou keeps the drive alive with that penalty over there, and hopefully they've got about 1:36 left in this quarter to go right into halftime. Hopefully they can get a score.
Well, the ball goes to the 22-yard line. And off to... No, it's a keeper by Prince Valley, and he passes, and it's caught by David Esterman. That's the first time we've called him tonight. 5'6" 125-pound senior getting a few yards on that pass play.
If we take a look at here on replay, Prince of Valley sets up, throws the out pattern. Nice catch over there by number 8, David Esterman, and he's finally pushed out of bounds by number 19, Paulsov Pulveda.
7 yards on the play. Ball on the 15. Second and third. Hand off to Nakashima up the middle, and looks like he's got a first down. Buff and Blue threatening here with 1:16 left.
First guy to wrap up Nakashima on that play is number 10, Montesinos. He's been real busy tonight on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, so it is first down, goal to go. Ball on the 8. And a handoff up the middle. Kaleo McCabe getting down to about the 3-yard line with 50 seconds.
We have Punahou calling a timeout over there. They're trying to preserve the clock over there. They have 47 seconds left. They're trying to see what they can do about going into the locker room with a score. Hopefully, of course, it's a touchdown. Nice run over there by McCabe. On the stop over there again was number 10. You have Montesinos. And with about 47 seconds left, we have the Tritons up 9-0. As we take a look at here on replay again, McCabe takes that ball, makes a counter move, and picks up about 5 to 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, Punahou's got to score here. Got to do something. If they don't score here, then it may be a morale buster. There you see Coach Dan Morrison. There you see Coach McLemore for the Tritons. Trying to come up with a defensive scheme here to keep the Buff and Blue out of the end zone.
For the most part, the Tritons dominated the first half, and so did the referees. And the thing about it is right now the Buff and Blues are going to try and see what they can do about breaking that streak and trying to put a score of their own on the board.
So with 47 seconds to go in the first half, the Buff and Blue come back out on the field. Prince of Valley, Nakashima is close to the end zone. And Nakashima, I believe, is short of the end zone. Clock's running, 34 seconds. They line up very quickly now. 3rd and 1. Handoff, Nakashima, touchdown up the middle.
The past two plays went on to the right-hand side, and for us up in the booth, it was almost obvious that they were going to go over there. You have one of their all-star linemen over there, number 77, Eric Saunders, listed over here at 6'4", 260 pounds as a senior. Also using the defensive lineman on the offensive front over there, number 75, David Anderson, listed here at 6'3", 320 pounds. There was a lot of beef on that side of the ball.
David Hu kicks the point. No good. No good. So that makes the score 9-6.
We take a good look over here at Nakashima, who's had quite a workout over here in the first half. And again, those two consecutive running plays that Punahou ran, it was almost predictable that they were going to go on the right-hand side with all of that massive humanity over there. As you can see, a quick dive off to the right-hand side. Again, up in the front, you had 75, Anderson, and you had 77. And you see all those big guys right in the front. And the lead block, real nicely made over there by number 4, Kaleo McCabe, helping Nakashima get in.
And so, with 26 seconds left, Buff and Blue score finally. And they'll be kicking the ball off.
Well, the Buff and Blues finally got that goose egg off the board. Gives them something to work on halftime, something positive to work with.
David Who.
Who?
Who? David Who. There he is. There's the kick. Nice end-over-end kick. There's Mr. Number 2 for the Tritons. That's Chris Smith bringing it up the middle. He doesn't get too much.
On the stop over there, you have number 43 for the Buff and Blues, Jonathan Chalk, listed over here as a linebacker. 5'10", 160 pounds, and he's a junior. We'll take a look at here on replay. Number 2, Chris Smith, takes this kickoff, and he takes several stutter steps, hoping for his blocking to line up in front of him. As soon as he decides to pick up a burst of speed, 43 busts right through the wedge, takes him down for the loss.
Ball on the 29. Well, they're going to pass the ball. Covillo is racked. He's brought down. He's dunked at the 25.
That was pretty close to getting a face mask over there. You had both sides, Kenneth Miller, 88, and 89, Anthony Murata on that play.
And the clock ticks down. That's it. First half's over. The San Clemente Tritons lead the Punahou Buff and Blue 9-6. There you see the score. And Don, it was pretty interesting first half with all the flags and with the fly offense of the Tritons. Is certainly interesting.
Well, you had a very entertaining offense that was displayed by the Tritons. You also had a first half that was marred by a bunch of flags. Everything seemed to be in preseason form. Again, the Buff and Blue, they scored right before the half ended, so this gives them something positive to build upon, and hopefully they can make the adjustment to the fly offense.
Well, score 9-6, San Clemente in the lead. I'm Mike Nelson with Don Bellina and our floor director Al Murakami. See ya second half.
And welcome back to Aloha Stadium. Second half action between San Clemente and Punahou. The score right now, the Tritons up 9-6. Al Murakami and Dominic Radura join you here for the second half.
And Dominic, certainly a very low-scoring game, something that we really didn't expect of both the Buff and Blue and the Tritons coming into tonight's ball game. Tritons running a misdirection offense, while the Buff and Blue known for their spread passing attack. And you look at it, and certainly, as we were talking during the half, baseball-like score, 9-6.
Tritons will be kicking it off here in the second half. Three-man backfield for the Buff and Blue, and along with Dallas Nakashima, Tyler Au, and Jeremy Grant. Tim Holtz will kick it. This ball be received at the 10. Nakashima makes his way over to the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 to start things here in the second half.
Well, I hope the Punahou trainer has some whirlpool time reserved for Nakashima, who's done just about everything tonight other than play defense.
But don't you like those kind of players that just give it all they got?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Ball spotted at the 26 for the Buff and Blue. Anthony Prince Valley stays in the ball game. Quickly hands it off to Kaleo McCabe. McCabe trying to make his way through, gets over the 30 to the 33-yard line.
McCabe, one of those expected to, of course, spell Nakashima from time to time in that single-man, one-man backfield. As you see, as he comes through here, and you see the pummeling he takes as he comes running into your living room here. As we follow him at ground level and give you a taste of what it's like on the turf. See right there, nice pickup, nice blocking by the Buff and Blue on the play, by the way. And McCabe does a good job to eke out major yardage.
So the ball will be spotted at the 34 of Punahou. 2nd and 2. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Had it off to McCabe. McCabe easily gets the first down.
McCabe, 5'10", 200 pounds, a senior, has been around with the Punahou football program seemingly forever, it seems. Take another look at it here on our Hawaii Army National Guard replay. As we go to ground level again, and here comes McCabe running into your living room there. And look at the gang tackling on the behalf of the Tritons from San Clemente, California.
1st and 10 at the 39, and we got to stop and play.
And certainly San Clemente, known during the years of the Richard Nixon presidency as, of course, the home of the Western White House.
McCabe gets the ball, but he stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1.
Buff and Blues going without the services, by the way, of Jeremy Lim this evening, who's out injured and not expected to play until the start of the regular seasons. We take a look at the sprint replay as once again we stay at ground level, and you see there the struggling running back McCabe trying to power his way through the middle of that defense for San Clemente.
So far it's been all McCabe. Now here's the throw. Prince Valley goes deep and overshoots his receiver, making play on that. It's number 12, Ryan Komagomi.
Komagomi, one of those, a lot expected of him. As you can see, he can just flat out fly, and certainly Prince Valley showing the kind of arm that he has to be able to deliver the ball out there. Connected up with Komagomi last week for a 65-yard touchdown toss against Maui High.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 for the 41, and pass was intended for Dallas Nakashima.
I don't know if it has something to do with the turf or if it's just because that they're treating this perhaps like an opening game, but Prince Valley tonight just not looking as confident in his tosses though as he did against Maui High.
So that'll force Punahou to punt from the 41. Ball taken at the 30. Brought down to the 35, so he's tackled by Punahou's Benjamin Thomas.
And good coverage by the San Clemente team to get down there, make some good blocks and set things up for their returner there. See what they do here in the second half and see what kind of adjustments Punahou makes to this fly offense, as they like to call it.
So the Tritons get the ball for the first time here in the second half. We'll have it at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Quickly a handoff there and gets good set of yards. Getting the carry was James Allenti.
Allenti, the secondary ball carrier in this misdirection offense. Talk a little bit about it in just a moment.
Tritons get the first down. This time they go to another back and getting ball. Now we're going to have some help on this. No 6 on my roster. Al, take it away.
Well, you know, as you take a look at the all-sport replay here, one of the principles behind this kind of an offense, too, though, is to have a lot of motion, a lot of movement, confuse the linebackers and the defensive backs just long enough to try and get somebody to pop through the line and be able to make some major yardage out there.
Allentee is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, taken down by David L. Anderson, 6'3", 320 senior.
Yeah, that young man takes up a lot of space in the middle. Yeah. As Donald Bellina pointed out, he fills a lot of space. Check it again on our Zippy's Restaurant replay. They try to pile up the middle, and they just run flat into him, and he just basically takes them down.
Third down situation, 3rd and 7 at the 50 for the Tritons. And a loose handle on the ball. Mad scramble at midfield.
One of the dangers, too, of this kind of an offense, though, is the quarterback pulling out a little too quickly from the center snap, because it takes a lot of timing to be able to do what you see them do, because, you know, you see that wingman, number 85, Chris McCormick, come flying across on that motion situation, and the quarterback has only an instant to try and get the ball into his hands. So,
with a fumble and snap will force Tritons to punt away. Jeremy Grant, the lone back to receive. He'll take it at the 9. Goes upfield, gets over the 20, still on his feet, gets to the 30. He's wrapped up, taken down by Daniel Montesinos for the Tritons, but good gain there for Jeremy Grant.
Grant, one of those, a lot expected from him this season. Had a chance to watch him play against Maui High, and certainly, as you see here, he really knows how to make that heads-up type of move. You look as he comes up here, he's looking over, waiting for his blocking to form up, sneaks in behind, and basically finds a little bit of a daylight and manages to make something out of really where there was really nothing there.
So that quarterback is Anthony Chris Valley. Gives it down. It's Nakashima. Nakashima trying to get out of the way, but he'll be brought down for a big loss.
Nakashima trying to do the same thing that Gerald Welch did against Waianae last season in the Prep Bowl, trying to wing his way around that Tritons defense to try and make something out of nothing there, but the Tritons just swarming all over him, not really giving him anything of a chance. Check out our Pepsi Next Generation replay here. You see he comes to that far side, realizes he doesn't really have much of a lane there, no real blocking, tries to reverse his field, but good pursuit there by number 51 for the Tritons, Mike Jovanovic, to contain him.
Pass up to the flats and be incomplete from the throw by Prince Valley. Then the receiver was Bradley Itagaki.
Prince Valley, one of those tall, statuesque type of passers with a good arm and, well, I guess you could say limited mobility, but still, when he has the time back there to unleash it, he can really gun the ball downfield for Punahou. He just has to learn how to pick up the defense just a little bit better.
6:29 left there in the third quarter. Still a 9-6 game here. Triton still with the lead. Prince Valley fires away in midfield, gets the catch, complete, first down. Making the catch was Timothy Al, and the tackle by Daniel Montesinos.
Al, one of the fleet of wide receivers for the Buff and Blue. And you saw there what I was talking about how Prince Valley has a very good arm. Watch this on our Generation Next replay. See, he comes back, good footwork, steps up, realizes the rush is coming around and coming up behind him, and guns this into the hands of Ao out there, who makes a really great catch in the middle and made a couple of nice catches against Maui High last week.
Ball at the 45. 1st and 10 for the Buff and Blue. Prince Valley has lots of time. Scrambles, has to go to the near side, gets the catch complete. And once again, Timothy Al with the reception and close to another first down.
And Al did a lot of this last week again against Maui High to get open in heavy traffic situations. He just knows how to feel his way through that, through an opposing defense. Take another look at it here. Prince Valley, just to show you, we said he has a little bit of mobility, and you see some of it there. He comes to the outside, flips this out quickly, and he gives Ao something to work with here. And again, Ao, you know, very smartly, one of those receivers, knows how to feel his way through the defense and manages to get pretty close to first down yardage. The referee's going to come out and measure this.
Just missing by not that much.
As the head linesman, the umpire, and the referee getting together there to figure it all out.
And if you're Punahou, you want to get a quick score here. They had a tough time in the first half. Finally getting a touchdown on that 1-yard run by Dallas Nakashima.
Well, what's opened it up is the fact that Kaleo McCabe ran the ball effectively for him to begin this offensive series, and now it's opened up the passing lanes a little bit, and now Prince Valley, having completed a couple of passes, throwing with a bit more confidence, and we'll see how he does here as they get into Triton territory.
Nakashima's set up in the backfield. Punahou has 3 receivers far side of the field. They give it to McCabe. McCabe tries to push his way through, gets off first down as he gets over the 45-yard line.
There's an old saying, anything you can do, I can do better. And I don't know, maybe they drew this up in the locker room, but that had all the look of that little fly pattern with that San Clemente did with McCormick. You'll take another look at it here. McCabe comes flying across parallel to the line of scrimmage, comes zipping by. The defense is caught out of position momentarily. Of course, recognizing what's going on, they grab McCabe, but not until he picks up the first down.
So another Punahou first down, and they're at the 44 inside Triton territory. The give to Dallas Nakashima.
This was one of the things, too, that Coach Morrison wanted to work on coming out of that game against Maui High. Maui High, for the most part, apparently knew something about Punahou, and they kind of stacked their defensive line to try and fill the gaps and not give Nakashima any room to run inside. There you see Coach Morrison there. He wanted to see a little more interior running on the part of his ground attack, and so obviously we're seeing the results of this past week's practice out there.
2nd and 4. Prince Valley goes for the pass, and it goes through the hands. Couldn't come up with it. It was Tyler Ao.
You know, one thing you like to tell a young quarterback is don't aim your passes, just throw it. You can see Prince Valley, they're trying to get himself set up and everything, and then trying to go through the motions and trying to actually aim that pass. What he has to learn to do, as you watch here, is just throw it. You see how he's taking just a little too long to throw this, and thrown way too high for his intended receiver out there, Tyler Ao.
3rd and 4. See how things work out here for Punahou. They give it to Nakashima. Nakashima trying to make his way to the 30, to the 35. He'll come up a little bit short, being close to another buff and blue first down, and the ball will be spotted at the 35, and it'll be a 4th and a yard for the buff and blue, and it seems that they will go for it. 4:04 ticking on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Seems that they line up into a power I formation now for the buff and blue. Give it to Nakashima, gets easily the first down as he crosses the 34.
And not surprisingly, running behind their big horse on the line, Eric Saunders there over on the right side. And when we say big, Eric Saunders is a big boy, 6'4", 260, a senior. Plays the right offensive guard position there and leads the way for the Buff and Blue. You see they come right over toward his side of the field. And they managed to keep everybody in there. Nakashima, like I said, with that nice good feel. He, like Ao, has that nice good feel, knows how to get out there and picks up the first down.
This time they go to Kaleo McCabe. McCabe breaks loose, gets over the 20. He hits the end zone. Touchdown, Punahou. Kaleo McCabe with the score.
And again, I don't know what Coach Morrison must have said during the week to prepare them for this ball game, but this was something that they had a lot of problems against Maui High in the first half of their game against the Sabres. Having problems trying to run the ball up the middle. Maui High plugged a lot of holes, made it difficult, forced Punahou to go to the outside a lot, which they ran fairly well, able to cut off the corners, but they had a real problem trying to go up the middle, as you saw McCabe did. They caught him in a blitz package, and that just freed up the lane, and McCabe said bye-bye and ran in for the touchdown.
Brian Powell's to hold. David Hu and muffs up the point after, and Hu tries to get himself 2 points as he tries to run in the end zone, falls 5 yards short of it, and that play there for Punahou is foiled, but they do get the lead with the touchdown by Kaleo McCabe.
And we'll take another look at that here coming up in just a moment. McCabe, a power back, but showing he has good run speed. You can see here, look, you see the heavy rush coming up the middle as they were trying to rush Prince Valley, expecting him to throw the ball, and then out pops McCabe, and McCabe just has one man to beat there, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Good stiff arm by the young man. Not an easy tactic, actually, to teach someone to do. A lot of runners really don't like taking that extra arm off that way.
3:17 remaining here in the third quarter. Punahou taking the lead for the first time tonight with the score 12-9. A short kick by Hu gets it rolling, and it'll go out of bounds at the 22-yard line, and penalty markers on the field.
Well, the option, of course, here for the San Clemente Triton, will be, of course, to whether to take it automatically at the, I believe it'll be the 35-yard line, or to have Punahou re-kick. And certainly the right decision, perhaps they'll take the field position out there and go from there. So the options are being explained to Tritons, and they will go ahead and take the penalty. In the meantime, there you see some of the folks on hand here at Aloha Stadium, home of the NFL Pro Bowl, and the first double, and the first, of course, doubleheader college football bowl game coming up, the Oahu Bowl, as well as the Christmas Day Aloha Bowl.
And the question is, I'm going to ask you if you're going to be here for both games.
I don't know. You'd have to be quite a marathon runner for that.
That'd be first for me for a Christmas Day to spend the whole time here at Aloha Stadium. As you see the run by the Tritons, taking the ball was James Allentee.
Certainly that would be a historic first. And take another look at it here. Again, this takes all kinds of timing here as you see Allentee coming around to the left side of that line. And Punahou just doing a good job of just stringing it out and limiting the yardage for the Tritons.
So we have a new quarterback, Can Coviello. It's now the quarterback for the Tritons. That time taking the ball was Chris Smith. And Chris Smith, just a sophomore, 5'6", 150-pound running back for the Tritons, getting some action. Everybody in the lineup for the Tritons is getting a chance to prove their point before the regular season starts.
I'll tell you one thing, whoever their offensive backs coach is, man, he is quite a ballet teacher.
Third down and 5, the ball at the 40. A mad run there is brought down hard by the Bluff and Blue defense. Getting the ball was Johnny Morgan. Morgan just ran out of room there. It'll be a fourth down situation for the Tritons.
The 6'2", 175-pound senior wide receiver trying to do a little bit of street football here, as you see. comes down, realizes he doesn't have much of a lane here, tries to give the old shake and bake with the Punahou players, some of whom have probably played some street football in and around the Punahou area, not biting on the feint.
Punt by the Tritons will be taken by Grant. He'll leave it alone as the ball just rolls down to the Punahou 19. 1:07 left here in the third quarter, and the Buff and Blue with a 12-9 lead on the Tritons.
And certainly the Tritons faced with the challenge here of trying to get the ball back and trying to answer Punahou's resurgent second half as the Buff and Blue lead by 3 here.
Looks like here in the preseason, Anthony Prince Valley will go the distance, still in at quarterback.
The young man may end up being the starting quarterback for the Buff and Blue this season.
Another handoff by Prince Valley. Gives it to Dallas Nakashima.
And this time they've apparently put a spy on Nakashima. In other words, assigning someone on the defense to go wherever he goes to cover him and to try and limit his effectiveness. You see here, he comes and tries to slide his way out, tries to get to the corner of that defense, but good job there by number 10, Daniel Montesinos, to cut him off.
Quick pass by Prince Valley, gets out to the far side, and getting the catch is Ryan Komagome.
You know, wouldn't be surprised if when the regular season starts, if Jeremy Lim and Bryce Gomes are able to go, that if both of them, or rather, especially Gomes, should be slipped into like a slot back position, given his mobility back there. Of course, I'm just speculating here, and that may or may not be the case come the regular season, but certainly Prince Valley showing, as you see there, as we've reached the end of the third period of play, Dominic, certainly Prince Valley showing in this second half that he's able to take command of that Punahou offense and execute the plays that they need him to take care of and get him to finish and everything. So certainly he's showing quite a good ability to be able to get the ball downfield, something which Gomes, of course, is not known for doing. But with that kind of mobility, you certainly want to put him maybe on a corner, put him at a wide receiver position. You see some of the Punahou fans always very exuberant and turning just about every football game into a party of their own.
And there's our Powerball numbers for the night, folks. Let's see. Some of the fans on the San Clemente side of the field.
Actually, I think those are the jersey numbers of some of their senior lettermen, actually, but you could be right. Those could be Powerball numbers.
I'm sorry, I thought we had lottery in the state of Hawaii again.
Oh, ye of so much faith.
So the team just switched sides on the field as we start the fourth quarter. Nakashima still in there, and Triton's having some time to bring him down as he gets over the 25-yard line.
Triton's trying to deal with Eric Saunders out there, trying to get around him and trying to limit the effectiveness of the Punahou ground game, but the Buff and Blue very smartly staying behind their big horse, who's making some major holes for Nakashima and McCabe to run in out there.
First down for the Buff and Blue. Again, they'll give it to Nakashima. This time he fires away and gets the receiver, and it's complete for a first down. Timothy gets the reception from Nakashima.
They also did this last week against Maui High. And San Clemente saw it too. Punahou used it in the second quarter against the Maui Sabres. As you see, Nakashima, good job, stretches it out, draws the defense to him, and then a nice finish there. That's how you finish a play there by Timothy Au, stretching out to get it.
McCabe tries to make a move at another Punahou first down. Good yards there, about 6 yards.
And a good play there. That's going to loosen up the secondary of Tritons quite a bit. Give Eric Saunders and Dallas Nakashima folks some room to run in out there.
2nd and 4. Again to give to Dallas Nakashima.
That time they took Saunders, brought him out from that offensive guard position, put him out to a tackle position on the right side.
Joey Kenny with the linebacker makes the tackle. The ball is brought down to the 37. Here's this replay.
You saw there how Saunders took out the man on his side, and that's what made it possible for Nakashima to race up there and pick up the first down.
Along with Kenny. Jason Kim trying to help on the tackle. Here's Nakashima running wild again.
Again, you see Saunders right there clearing things out, creating a zip lane for Nakashima that time to pick up major yardage.
Montesinos on the tackle.
Look again, you see the outside man there for the Tritons. They need to get Jovanovic, Mike Jovanovic, a 6'1", 230-pound senior linebacker. They need to get him to move around a little bit, either come a little further outside or maybe take a little bit more of a drop step coming off the snap or something to be able to try and hem in Nakashima, because otherwise if he tries to go mano-a-mano with Eric Saunders, he's going to lose.
See our scoreboard, 9:57 left here in the ball game. First downs, Punahou really getting them all here in the second half.
And for those of you in San Clemente, California, who are transplanted Islanders and you want to catch some of the ball games here, some of the high school football games here at Aloha Stadium this season, that's the number to call. You just need to add on the 808 area code, 486-9557. Again, any of you interested out there in transplanted Islanders now living over there on the California coast, 1-808-486-9557. If you want to catch up with how your alma mater's doing on the football field here at Aloha Stadium, you give us a call.
Puffin Blues at the 25, 1st and 10. A lot of time as Prince Valley gets a score and gets the catch, complete touchdown. Once again, Punahou. Prince Valley connecting to Tyler Au. Boy, did he have a lot of time staying there in the pocket and then look downfield and made the pass.
I said, if you give this young man time, he has the kind of arm, and he'll burn you downfield, as you saw there.
David Hu with the point after, piles to hold. This one also fails, and no good this time on the kick by Hu. But now the score with the Buff and Blue on top of the Tritons, 18-9.
And take another look here at Tyler Au's touchdown catch from Prince Valley. Remember what I said about this young man. If he gets the time up front, nice play action fake there, and the nice protection, the wall they give him. You notice that gave him all the time in the world, and there's Al downfield, makes a nice grab, puts it right over the proper shoulder where Al was looking for it, and he makes the grab for the touchdown, and there you see Punahou with 6 consecutive points over the past 3 quarters, now leading this ball game 18-9.
Making the reception at the 15 is Chris Smith. Gets to the 30. 9:45 to work with. You see, made the tackle on Smith. Johnny Wang.
And you see Smith here. Spent a lot of time watching that ball come down and giving Punahou the time, their coverage team, time to get down and be able to make the stop on the young man here. See what Coach Mark McElroy can come up with here. So Triton's now down 18-9.
Chris McCormick tried to make a play, but just brought down by Lucas Morgan.
This is just basically trying to beat people to the corner, and this time, though, Punahou having none of that. Good coverage there by their defensive back out there, Lucas Morgan.
McCormick with the ball, tries to make something of it. Won't get the yardage he needs.
Should send kudos to our camera crew here at Aloha Stadium this evening, staying with all that twisting and turning and multiple handoffs inside there, being able to stay with it. Nice stop there by the Punahou Buff and Blue defender, number 89, Anthony Murata, 5'11", 190, a senior defensive lineman.
3rd and 8 at the 33 of the Tritons. Staying in the pocket, gets a pass off. It's nearly intercepted. The open receiver was Chris McCormick. And over there to make the coverage. In fact, McCormick was double covered and almost the ball went almost into the hands of Johnny Wang.
Coviello going to learn from that. They had up-down coverage on his receivers. You see here, McCormick turning out, and the up-down coverage right there with him. You see one man in front and one man in back, trying to make the pickoff there. Of course, Wang, and getting good pickup by Morgan in support. So he'll learn when he sees that kind of coverage. If he's still going to throw it in that direction, he'll learn how to just throw it away.
Punt is off. Trying to get to the 40. And bringing it up was Jeremy Grant.
Chris Resty among those up to help make the stop for the Tritons out there, along with his teammate there, number 40, Brett Hadley, a 6 foot, 170-pound senior linebacker.
Prince Valley stays in the ballgame. 8:18 left here in the 4th quarter. Ball at the 40. The give is to Bradley Itagaki.
And getting steamrollered there for the Tritons, number 10, Daniel Montesinos, their middle linebacker. Take another look at it again. They move Eric Saunders into the middle now. And you see what they basically do is they just swarm the runner on that one.
Pass nearly picked off. Almost taken there by Paul Sepulveda. The intended receiver was David Esterman. Third down and 6. Prince Valley decides to hold it at the real last moment and finally gives off to McCabe, and by the time he does give off to McCabe, defense just rolls in and makes the play.
Well, that time they were trying to basically go misdirection to McCabe, but just a little too slow in developing, and the defense for San Clemente sniffed it out and basically snuffed the play.
Real quick series for Punahou on that time on offense, and he'll punt it away. Pick up at the 21 as Chris McCormick tries to make his way up the field, and will be stopped short of 35. He'll be down at the 34.
Well, when the chips are down, you want to go to your main man, and McCormick has been that for them this evening. The 5'11", 175-pound senior wide receiver.
You're right, Ali's been doing it all. Been taking the handoffs on the reverses. Also taking a load on the receptions.
The thing is, now that San Clemente finds themselves in the hole, certainly what this means, of course, is that they need to get some quick scores on the board. The Punahou defense knows this, and you just know that front line is going to be putting some heavy pressure on the quarterback out there.
First and 10 for the Tritons at their own 34. At 6:58 to work with. Drilled hard there. Taking the ball was Jason Kim. Really greeting him there at the line of scrimmage was Nicholas Torres.
This is another young man that we'll be hearing more from here in the islands, as he's expected to certainly blossom this season. Has been doing a pretty solid job for the Buff and Blue defense over the years, and certainly this year a lot is expected from this young man.
Second and 6. Ball coming around is ball given to James Allenti.
You gotta like this approach being used by San Clemente. They're not trying to hurry. They're not trying to really rush things too much. They're pretty much staying with what they know how to do to try and get themselves back in this ball game. As you see Allenti there, just weaving his way off that misdirection handoff.
It'll be a 3rd and 2 situation for the Tritons. Trying to get themselves a first down. Westman fires, and it'll be ruled a catch. First down. Catch is made at the 48.
Nice toss there by the senior quarterback, gunning that one out. You could see just a moment as McCormick was coming down the line of scrimmage and back there was a flinch just a moment by the Punahou defensive line. And that's what this kind of an offense will do to you. Make you hesitate just long enough to be able to get a play like that off.
Quick toss and trying to go up the field. Now they'll rule it a reception and a fumble. Picking it up there. Punahou and going in for a score. Touchdown. Keola Ane picks up the ball.
When you saw that official's hat come to the ground, I guess he must have lost his spotting bits. Normally when you see that happen, that usually means that it's been ruled a catch, a reception, and then a fumble, and then of course that can be advanced the other way by the defensive team. And good alert play by the Buffalo Blues, number 33, Keola Ane, third-year letterman at defensive back, 5'10", 175. And there, of course, the coach for the Tritons, Mark McElroy looking on.
You don't hear a whistle. Just pick up that ball and just run as far as it can go. And that is what Keola Ane did. And another 6 points on the board for the Buff and Blue. David Hu still looking for a successful point after you. Piles holds. Getting his wish, the crowd in favor of David Hu as he gets his extra point here.
You know, really one of the hard things with a conversion kick or a field goal kick or anything when you're a sidewinder is to try and get your footwork going and try and get yourself squared to be able to make that kick, and that's what Hu did that time. And of course we saw the result, a successful PAT conversion. We'll take another look at the touchdown here. And as you see the senior quarterback swinging this out, completed pass, young man drops it on the carpet.
And that's what you call being a victim of the turf monster.
Yep, Aloha Stadium turf is slippery in some places, which is why after this football season they will be closing up the place, pulling that turf up and putting a brand new carpet down. And there, of course, you see a happy young man, Keola Ane.
Not too bad having that. As long as you're the home team, runs in your favor. Short kick this time by Hu. Ball's taken in at the 15. Run back taken by Chris Smith.
We should mention for those of you folks viewing this ball game in California that these teams, Punahou, and perhaps some of you may have heard of nationally ranked St. Louis in the prep football poll nationally. These teams that belong to what's called the Interscholastic League of Honolulu, the private school league here on the island of Oahu. As there we get the preliminary call from our head referee this evening. But anyway, the private school league plays here throughout the entire season. This is their home field.
Clipping on the offense, return team. 15 yards, follow the foul, half the distance, first down.
And I'll tell you what, Dominic, you know, time and time again, we have folks that come in to play with the University of Hawaii football team who come from other places all the way out to Kansas and all the way from the East Coast, and they go, you folks playing here? Wow. Yeah, we play high school football here too.
A draw there given to James Allentee. Gets the Tritons a few yards. Brings it to the 18.
And there you see Punahou's second half offensive explosion with 13 points here in the fourth stanza.
Now the Tritons out of the shotgun. Has to go up the middle. Gets it complete to McCormick. McCormick gets to the 25. Another Triton first down as they keep things alive here in the fourth quarter with 4:41 remaining.
You know, one of the hard things when you get into this kind of a ball control style offense that the Tritons do, good as this play is by McCormick, when you get into these kinds of situations though where you fall behind and you have to get out of that system and start having to do something that you don't normally spend a lot of your practice time doing, which is throwing the football, then sometimes you have, you know, you tend to have a little bit of a problem trying to get the plays off, but a really good job there of executing the pass play for major yardage.
Westman did a good job there by buying a lot of time and drawing that Punahou defense towards it, helping on that inside part of the field for McCormick, and now we have penalty markers on the field.
And there's an example of what I'm talking about when you get out of your normal offensive system and you have to go to something that you basically probably don't do too often in practice.
False start on the offense, 5 yards, still first down.
And you know for the most part that in order to get back into the game, you have to be able to throw the ball. So, of course, this ends up in this kind of situation where, you know, you rock back on your heels a little prematurely and get called for legal procedure.
Westman keeps the ball and tries to find some yards as he's brought down hard at the 30.
Oh, Westman showing the kind of poise you like to have from your senior leadership out there. I mean, he was the key, really, that made that screenplay work that got him out of the shadow of their own goal line. You know, it's not easy to take that drop back in that screen, realizing that maybe you're just going to have a couple of guys on the defensive line get brushed by your old men. As you see there, coming off for Punahou is number 89, Ethni Murato, a defensive end, 5'11", 190, a senior.
Little shaken up.
But Westman trying to do the best he can to try and get the Tritons on the scoreboard.
Second half, they gone through a drought. Allentee now with the ball, makes a nice catch, gets over to the 40, but we got markers on the field once more.
And Allentee that time just doing a good job to just feel his way around and latching onto that ball and making some major yardage here, but let's see what the penalty is all about.
Referees in a discussion here. We could call in just a little bit.
Personal foul, face mask by the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down offense.
And on the catch Tritons did get a first down, so they get more yardage on the face mask call upon Punahou, and now they get inside Buff and Blue territory. Let's take a look at this replay once more.
You see it coming right up here at the end of the play as Allenty comes up, and right there you see his head dipping down as the fella got his hand caught in the face mask momentarily.
Toss to McCormick. McCormick still on his feet, trying to make more yards. Gets over 35 to the 33-yard line.
Oh, I like how this McCormick runs through traffic, boy. He hops, skips, and jumps through there and just makes it real hard for you to get a first lick on him. You know, any good runner, any good receiver are the types that, you know, your first lick won't do hardly anything to them, and, you know, they'll be able to get some big-time yardage on you within the next couple of steps.
3:35 remaining in the ball game. Triton's on the move out of the shotgun and won't get a play off here.
And we'll see what this penalty is all about.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Again, the Tritons. Again, coming out of what is their normal offense into more of a pass-oriented one, certainly having their problems tonight.
Out of time is Westman. Westman finds an open receiver, and it's caught inside the 15-yard line. Making the great grab there was Johnny Morgan.
Like how Morgan went to the carpet to try and to go ahead and get a latch onto this ball, as Westman, like the mechanics there, throws a nice ball here. And a good job by the Tritons, number 14, Morgan, out there to lay himself out and get a little bit of a carpet burn and be able to pick up the pass on that one.
And on this series, Punahou having a tough time on defense, quickly calls a timeout. Tritons now on a roll as the ball is at the 12-yard line.
You know, you really find receivers, too, when they're out there in the pattern, have a feel for what's going on. Morgan did a nice job to curl himself into the middle, realizing that there was an open, that Punahou was giving him an open space in that middle, broke off his pattern, kind of drifted into the middle, gave himself a nice target, and then did a good job to come back on the pass. It was a little short and made the catch. And, you know, things like that can spell the difference between whether you win or lose a ball game when the regular season comes around.
You see Richie Westman takes a 2-step drop, passes over, and it just overthrows his intended receiver, Johnny Morgan. Morgan was wide open in the end zone.
Morgan that time kind of ran himself out of space too on that, looking one way and the ball from Westman coming the other. Sometimes that can happen.
Second down situation. Here's a pass, a little floater. Running out of room that time.
Well, that time Westman threw it a little too far to the corner. Kind of short shrifted it just a little bit, because otherwise his receiver Morgan had the DB beat in that situation over there, number 33 of the Buff and Blue, Keola Ane.
And Ane made the fumble recovery for the touchdown. Buffalo's way ahead. There's a pass thrown. And it goes high in the air on 3rd down. It'll be 4th down at the 12-yard line.
Now that was the old zigzag mix-up. Morgan zigged to the inside when the play was actually to the end line on the outside, and you could tell from where Westman threw it that Morgan ran the wrong pattern on that play.
Tritons take a timeout, as you saw Westman signaling for the timeout, and they have one remaining. 3:09 remaining on the...
And as you saw there, the first half belonging to the Tritons of San Clemente, but the second half has been all Punahou as they've pitched a shutout here in the third and fourth quarters. Although the Tritons about to crack that fourth quarter goose egg here. As you see some of the fans here enjoying themselves on a quiet evening here at Aloha Stadium. Fans from San Clemente on the other side having a bit of fun over there as well. Hey, there's the power ball. Let's see, 53,
Clock should
44,
be
3,
305.
85, 24.
305.
Oh, gee, I think that's my ticket. No, it's not. Oh, well. Yeah, I know, Dominic. You wish, right?
Actually, 3:05 remaining here. Fourth down. Westman is pounded in the backfield. Can't get the play off. Not a very perfect pass, and very good drive by the Tritons. Just couldn't get into the end zone for another 6 points. And Punahou will take over on downs with 3:05 still remaining on the clock.
Again, you can see there, Westman. You can see from the motion, he was looking one way and his receiver went the other and waiting just a bit too long. And of course, the follow through thrown
Clock
off.
should be 3:02. 3:02.
We could take a couple seconds off of the clock.
And there's a problem with our game clock here. Oh, is it running now? Now it seems to be okay. Should mention Aloha Stadium opened in 1975.
Penalty markers on the field.
Celebrating its 23rd birthday this year. And apparently time going to be, the remaining time perhaps going to get kept on the field. Let's see.
Clock is 2:58. We'll keep the time on the field. We'll keep the time on the field. 2:58.
What number to hold it?
And time being held up momentarily here, Dominic, due to problem with the clicker switch they use up here to keep time on the board, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. So apparently the referee's going to go ahead and keep time on the field. Yep, there's a time clock there, and it's not exactly moving well. Now they're talking about a penalty on the field. You saw the holding gesture, and we'll get the explanation here in just a moment. And here it comes.
Holding on the offense. Declined. It's going to be a second down.
So the referee, apparently, Dominic, talking to both sides of the field here, apparently explaining the situation. And we're going to go ahead and finish up the ball game here.
So they're going to keep the time on the field. Ball taken by Dallas Nakashima. He brings it to the 17-yard line.
So looks like good things will bode for Punahou this season, coming from behind to win this one, Dominic, as it seems they will by a 25-9 margin right now. Take another look at Nakashima's run here. Certainly, if they stay healthy, they could pose a threat to the number 2 position, but I think this season, and we've said this before, though, from time to time, is that, you know, in the ILH, it's usually the battle for second place. You know, St. Louis, of course, usually always accorded first place season in and season out.
Ball goes over the 20-yard line, gets to the 22. Making the tackle for the Tritons was Daniel Montesinos.
Measure it, measure.
And they'll keep the time soccer style. As most of the time in soccer games, we don't know what the time is from up in the stands versus to what they have on the field.
And now time being called on the field for a measurement. But Prince Valley showing in the second half, he certainly has good command of this offense, Dominic. And as we discussed earlier, certainly perhaps Bryce Gomes, when he comes back, you know, probably will find himself playing a different position. And certainly the Buff and Blue would certainly like to have Jeremy Lim back, who was their top rusher from last season as well.
Tell you what, you get Lim back and you have a heck of a backfield. Too bad you don't see a lot of wishbone offense in the ILH.
Well, that man would prefer making it Air Punahou this season. Certainly he has a quarterback in this young man here who can get that job done.
Take a look at another back, Jonathan J. Kim.
Well, the Buff and Blue beginning to empty their bench just a little bit here. But you're right, Dominic. You know, when Lim gets healthy and he gets out there, certainly with McCabe and Nakashima running the ball so well, it's going to make for a heck of a headache for those in the Interscholastic League of Honolulu.
2nd and 6. All given to Bradley Itagaki.
On the other hand, the Tritons, of course, will be going back to California, and certainly the thing they'll probably have to work the most on is being able to keep their concentration. They went into the locker room with a 9-6 lead and came out and apparently thought that they would have their way here in the ball game. As you take another look at it here with number 32 for the Buff and Blue, Itagaki, another converted wide receiver to running back out there. But certainly the Tritons, you know, obviously the thing they'll have to work on is probably their intensity and concentration in the second half.
Bradley Itagaki gets the ball once more. He'll be stopped by Nate Bartoloni.
Because again, after what they've seen this evening, they've got to know that, you know, you cannot just play one half of football and then let your opponent get back in the ball game. That's the way you lose ball games, you know, by coming into the second half thinking you're going to have your way with your opponent. And surprise, surprise, Prince Valley and Kaleo McCabe and Suzuki and Dallas Nakashima go out there and just hammer away and basically run circles around the Tritons and, you know, come back with a total of 19 second half points, rather.
I'm guessing with the formation Punahou's in, where should be under a minute to play.
And Punahou looking to preserve their second half shutout here, as they will go back on the defense, Dom.
That time they had the choice, and this was inches away from another first down, but decides to put their defense out there once more.
Coach Morrison obviously wants to see how his team is going to respond in one of these situations.
A long throw gets over and it's picked off. Ball is taken by Johnny Wang and returns it over to the 40 to the 37-yard line. And that's going to be it.
You know, at the same time, given what we've seen of this San Clemente passing attack, this is going to give Cal Lee of the St. Louis Crusaders here in Honolulu a real problem of a bit, because they've got some really good defensive people up front, and their running backs, defensive backs I should say, doing a pretty good job of taking away the passing lanes for San Clemente here in the second half this evening. As you see there, counter-punching the interception the other way is Johnny Wang.
What a way to end the ball game. And there you see the final score, 25-9. As Punahou goes over the Tritons here tonight. 13 fourth quarter points did it for the Buff and Blue. And they had a tough time in the first half, just getting a lone touchdown. Start the wheels to turn in the second half as you take a look at a happy Dan Morrison.
Well, one of the things that he obviously is going to work on with these young men is try and get them to realize that coming into a game like this, or into any game, you can't exactly always expect that you're going to come out and be able to win a game in the second half. Not when they get into Interscholastic League of Honolulu play, when they run up against St. Louis and Kamehameha in the season. You know, they've got to learn how to get off the ball and get off quickly and get everything going for them early on, because if they play like this against teams like Kamehameha and St. Louis, they're going to find themselves in a hole early on, and you know Coach Morrison is going to be telling them that. At the same time, certainly Dan Morrison has also got to be feeling a lot better though about his running attack, especially in the second half, making some big holes. Saunders getting off the ball a little better and creating some running room for their very swift backs out there, as he and the coaches for San Clemente get together and talk. Mark McElroy
and Dan Morrison getting together one last time before they part their ways and get ready for the regular season for both teams.
And certainly this was a good test for both sides, you know, in terms of what we saw this evening, and certainly bodes well for the Buff and Blue this season. Be interesting to see, you know, how they do in 2 weeks from now when the ILH gets their season underway. So once again from Aloha Stadium, I'm Al Morikami along with Dominic Redera. 25-9 our final score here. Buff and Blue coming back with a total of 25 second half points, or 25 unanswered points I should say. 19 of those coming in the second half, 13 in the fourth quarter to lock away this ball game, and the Buff and Blue pull away to a 25-9 win, and certainly going to be an interesting ILH season.